So what you're going to do next is you've sort of tidied up the mound here, putting more mass at one end and less at the other. So it almost looks like a tooth or a carrot kind of shape. So what we want to do now is we want to have the high relief effect that if we're looking at it from the side, we can see that their body has more mass, it gets more narrow at the legs, but then the feet actually stick up. So we've saved plenty of our paper clay to do that with. So I'm going to take some of this, and I don't want to squeeze it together and have like a little flipper sticking up at the end. I want it to look like the actual shape or form of their feet. So I'm going to take this and add it to the end and sort of squeeze it together. Now that is separate from the paper clay form here. So it does look like it's sticking up. It does kind of look like the shape of their feet bound together with the bandages where they're mummified. But that's going to dry and fall off because it's not stuck to the original form. So what I want to do is use my dry pieces of paper like tape. So when I put it over that and I wrap it together, the dry piece of paper is going to absorb the moisture in the paper pulp, and it's going to dry later and actually help hold that together as one form. So even though you made it as a separate shape or a separate form, because of the way that you're wrapping the paper around this to kind of bind it all together, that's going to actually dry and want to stick together rather than falling off. So now I have it where when I lean down and I look at the side view of it, it looks more like, not that one, that comes later, this one, where the feet are actually sticking up. I would tilt it towards the camera, but it's very wet, so it would fall apart. My finished one I showed you guys earlier, though, what we're doing right now is this end, where the feet look like they're sticking up more than the rest of it. So now I want to form the head, so I've saved some pulp for that. So I'm going to take that, I'm just going to sort of roll it into like a little ball. But then instead of a perfectly round ball like a sphere, I would want it to look like more of an oval or an egg shape. So I'm letting the water that's dripping off of it go back into the container. If I let it drip all over my mummy, then it's going to take it even longer to dry. So taking that, forming it, letting extra water drip down. Now if I take this and I stick this on here, yeah, it looks like their head, but that is not going to dry and stay part of it. What I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to take some of those extra dry pieces of paper and just put that over it, basically taping it together with it. So once this is all together, I can see I have, when I look at the profile of it, when I lean down and I look at it from the side, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing high relief and low relief areas in the form. So what's happening now, when I look at it from the side, is I'm actually seeing where the head is sticking up and so are the feet. So you're getting it to that form. When you get it to that form, it should look more like your actual mummy. You're going to let this dry as slow as possible. The slower you let it dry, the stronger it's actually going to stay together. So you can put it outside in the sun if you have something you could carry it out on, but don't put it in the microwave. Do not run a hairdryer over it or anything. The slower it dries, the stronger it's going to be when you're finished. All right, good luck.